Do the little towns of rural Indiana still exist? You know, the kind with maybe 100 people, a small store, a post office, and a church? Well, Indiana still has plenty of places like that, and one of my favorites is right here, Paris Crossing in Jennings County. Until the 1960s, Paris Crossing was the place for sports and education, and in the southern part of Jennings County. Today, the old school gym still stands. The rest of the school used to sit right beside it. The high school closed in 1961 when the southern half of Jennings County was consolidated into Vernon High School. The grade school, where my mom went, closed in 1969 when students were sent to the newly opened Graham Creek Elementary. This, until those times, was a happening place in a community full of people who showed up for each other. Across the street, right over there, once sat a big brick house, and it was magnificent, like something on the cover of Southern Living. It had once been a funeral home. Yes, until the 1950s, Paris Crossing even had its own funeral home. Mrs. Cora Dodd, the undertaker's wife, was still living in that old home when I was a kid. She lived to be 101 years old. Toward the end of her very long life, she wrote a book entitled The Country Undertaker's Wife, in which she talks about life in a rural funeral home. Now, it's not about the creepy kind of thing people might think it is. It's more about loving and serving your neighbor in their toughest moments. Just a quick reminder, if you like what you're seeing so far, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button right now because it really helps us to keep putting out content like this, and we greatly appreciate it. Paris Crossing Post Office is still in operation, and hundreds of people across Marion and Montgomery Township still have a Paris Crossing address. And if anyone ever talks about shutting down the Paris Crossing Post Office, we all need to be like Kramer on Seinfeld and go to the Postmaster General and say, "I want out permanently. Stop sending me mail." The fire department's still here, and it serves all of Montgomery and Marion townships. Hats off to them and all of our first responders. This is Coffee Creek Baptist Church, founded in 1822. A few years later, 13 members felt called in a different direction and founded Coffee Creek Christian Church, about a mile west of here. But 2 centuries later, both congregations are going strong and still serving this community. Webster's Garage. George Webster ran this auto repair shop for decades. People came from all over southern Jennings County and northern Jefferson County to have George look at their car. I brought my first car here. It was a piece of junk by the time I had it, but George worked on it and kept it running longer than it probably deserved. Across the street was the location of the Paris Crossing Market, another place important to community life here. It kept things feeling like a town, especially after the school closed, because it felt like there was still business and commerce and activity going on. When I was a kid, I used to love coming here to get ice cream bars and anything else that kept us from making a trip into town. Back then, it was run by the Osman family. Mr. Osman was from Germany, and I always loved talking to him because I loved his German accent. Tragically, the Paris Crossing Market burned down in 1995 after 126 years in business. After that, something undeniably shifted in Paris Crossing. Places like Webster's Garage and Paris Crossing Market used to dot the landscape of rural Indiana, and we're very grateful that we still have the Comiskey Corner Store a couple of miles up the road and a few other country groceries around Jennings County, but we don't have nearly as many as we once did. Is it possible to bring back mom and pop businesses to places like Paris Crossing? Or are we now simply beholden to Dollar General? I don't have the answer, but I do know this, that memory is alive and well here. So are work ethic, intelligence, and above all, love and care for family and neighbors. The best of Paris Crossing hasn't disappeared. There are still great people here. Some who've been here their whole lives, and then others who have come more recently, who are now part of the story. The future isn't finished yet. Not for Paris Crossing, and not for any of us. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments about your memories of Paris Crossing and what you think the future holds for places like this.